cutthroat then. So I learned a lot about Bill Walther, and I learned a lot about operations from that very fine gentleman over there. But going back to the cross to bear, I'm not too sure why Bill is leaving us as early as he is, but I think I've got a clue. We just lost Skip Billhartz, and we've got Bill McMillan here, and of course he's had Bob Speck for 3 years, and he's a bigger cross than almost anyone compared to him. You know what I really can't figure out is this. I don't know whether he thinks that Bob and Bill are really going to make it big, or whether they're too far gone and there isn't anything he can do for them. I would like to say one thing in all seriousness. I think the audience here tonight very well demonstrates one particular thing. It demonstrates the fact that when a career, in a long career, in a big company is over, there are many ways by which you can measure the contribution that an individual makes, not only to the company, but to the people with whom he's worked. And that tribute is really spoken for here tonight because Bill has and will keep a lot of good friends in ARCO. Thank you very much.
You'll probably be with them by phone. I think this group here just represents a solid group of contacts over the years, people's lives that you've touched and feel very deeply about you all. I'd like to invite Larry Bell. We've got to be careful which is Larry Bell, because there's two of them. Larry Bell from Dallas, but you have
not too long after the merger. And I guess I'm fairly qualified to speak in this area, and I think that Bill Walther probably is the best drilling hand in the Rockies. I'm not as qualified to speak of his production efforts, but I will say one thing, and I think most of you would agree with me. Most people in the Rockies would agree. If I had production to look at anywhere in this area, that's the man I'd want. And I'll just leave it at that, Bill. I know that many people in the Rockies feel the same way about you.
Well, I don't know. I feel good tonight. I feel real good being back in Denver. Because when people like this meet to honor Bill Walther, I want to be part of that. Because Bill Walther is a first-class person, and a person I really feel proud to have worked with. And thank you, Bill. And Elaine, I don't know what you're going to do with him. But when I think of a lot of the good things about ARCO, Bill Walther's right there. He represents a lot of the good things. In fact, I'd say all the good things of ARCO. With my dealings with Bill, there was never a time that you question what's in his gut or what's in his heart. That man's got more integrity than any of the rest of us. He really does represent what's good. And I appreciated that. And I learned a lot from him. You talk about his production and his low cost. Well, that's Bill. And that's great. There was never a better can-do attitude. Let's get this done. Let's get it on. Let's get the production in and make the money than what Bill Walther represented. And boy, he helped make this district great. And we're really going to miss him. And Bill, I just want to say I enjoyed working with you. I thank you for being yourself. And wish the best in the world for you. And Elaine, I just don't know what you're going to do. If you want to just say, get out of the house, leave me alone for a while, send him back to work.
Skip, one of the first things I discovered when I got to Denver, as you were leaving, was that you were leaving a legacy of a new congressman. And that hurt Bill Walther. He never really came out and said it, but I got the impression that he wanted to turn that thing back into a file and get on with this rat killing. We have a few more presentations to make. Ken Thompson, why don't you come up now?
To read the letter that I wrote to you, Bill. It says, "Dear Bill, this letter is not only to Ark Oil and Gas Company's best operations manager, but also to a very good friend that I'm going to miss not seeing around the office every day." Now, the second paragraph I'm not going to read. The second paragraph's for me and Bill. So I'll go to the third paragraph. "I'm proud to have had the opportunity to work with such a professional as you. You amaze me with your knowledge of the wells and leases back to their days of discovery. You show very thorough insight into business alternatives that face us. Your negotiating skills and relationships with other operators or working interest owners is unsurpassed. I love the Rocky Mountain District and strongly feel it's our most exciting district and one which has the highest incremental potential of possibly any lower 48 district in Ark Oil and Gas. And I believe that our district is this way largely because of what you have contributed over the years. The persistence in seeing that production remained at the highest levels physically possible, that operating costs remained at the lowest levels achievable, and that new drilling wells or construction projects were completed in a minimum of time with no significant delays. In closing, we all thank you for your important contributions to our district and to our company. You're a real winner and a real oil man who gets the job done. You should feel very proud, and something that Skip used to say all the time, you can certainly hold your head very, very high. God bless you and Eileen in your retirement. Come see us as we progress on the path you helped cut for our district, a path of onward momentum and upward profits. Bill, you're a real oil man, and we're going to miss you."
I don't really have much of a speech to make, but on behalf of the drilling department, I would like to thank Bill for the time and the patience that he's exercised with several of us younger people that oftentimes have a great desire to charge out there and get the job done, but sometimes we don't always know what the job is to be done. And Bill has been very successful at keeping us pretty well lined out. But one thing that I have noticed about Bill, especially in the past 2 years, is that he is a fantastic production man, but deep in his heart, he's a drilling man. He can't get away from that iron, no matter what happens. And so, Bill, on behalf of the drilling department, we have a picture for you here that I'll leave against the stage that hopefully will remind you of those of us that spent the last couple of years with you in your career, and some of those wild projects that have already been alluded to, the Broad Canyon #1, the Sheep Mountain 415H. Well, see, it's not always good all the time. And the Arco #1 Gibbs and the Telephone Pass, and some of the other projects that you've been associated with here at the last couple of years. So with that, again, I want to thank you personally for all that you've taught me, and wish you all the very best in your retirement. Thank you very much.
Very well. Lawrence, come on up and make a presentation.
All of the employees wanted you to have something to remember us by, so through their efforts, they have come up with something that we hope you will really get a lot of joy out of the rest of your life, and all of your family too. So you may want to open this so we can all see it. Right here, take out my old knife that my wife doesn't want me to slice the tomatoes with. Well, that picture looks pretty good. I wonder what happened to it so The carrying case. And this is a Canon lens FD. 1.4. Another Canon Speedlight 166A.
He's gonna go into photography.
Millimeter World. Now, why don't you tell me what this is all about?
For the last several months, Bill comes in, he says, "Lawrence, that camera just don't work." And so a while back, he said, "Yeah, why don't you take that out and take some pictures with it?" I took it out, shot a roll of pictures, and gave him back his camera with the film in it. Went up to the Broad Canyon. When I came back, he says, "Every picture turned out, even the one in the lobby down there." So I don't know what's wrong with his camera. But the people at the camera store were a little concerned with his problem. So they threw in instructions with a tape on how
You want pictures of the grandkids? Here you go.
Well, I'm gonna have to be a real photographer.
I'd also like to present to you and the land the retirement gift, a retirement award from the company, which is this beautiful silver service that's sitting up here. I think some of you have already seen it. It's on display up here. Bill would also like to present to you a certificate recognizing 37 years of injury-free duty with oil patch. You know, safety is an attitude, and it's contagious, and especially when there's people like Bill Walter who set the pace. We've had a tremendous record here in the Rocky Mountain District, and I think to a great extent due to this man. But Bill, I'd just like to give you this as a certificate of your accomplishment.
Thank you very much.
And the final thing, and maybe something you can hang on the wall somewhere, Bill, is a token, a plaque that I'll read it to you. W. Walton Jr., in deepest appreciation for your 37 years of total commitment to our crew's success.
I really thank you for this, Bill. Well, I'm not going to say very much. I've always, when I go out in the field, they say, "Well, do you have a few words?" And I say, "Yes, I do," as Harry Cummins and Pete Laughing and Jimmy Taylor, Ken Lewis will always say, "Well, Bill have a few words," so I always talk about production and safety and getting more oil, making more money, and really what this thing's all about. This is it. That's why we're here. And so I won't be able to do that anymore. But I'm still going to be thinking about it. I guess this afternoon, I said I'm not going to write any talk or have Sharon dictate anything to her. Sit down and after the ball game, and like Atlanta beat the Cubs, I'll jot down a few notes. So I did. And I guess first I want to thank everyone here that's come. I really appreciate it. Me and my family both, all of you all. Some of you have come a long ways. And in fact, I appreciate it. I want to thank Bill McMillan for having this party. It absolutely was not necessary. I guess I thought I'd like to go out like I came in. Somebody knocking on your door, please give me a job. And that's the way it was when I started and got on with Amoco or Pan Am in those days. You had to beat the other man. It was 1941. There wasn't too many oil field jobs. Hell, they had hundreds of people for them. Thankfully, my mother knew somebody with Amoco or Pan Am. And that's the way it was. I want to thank Sharon, and I want to thank Andrea and others that's for helping Bill McMillan put on this program. It was absolutely wonderful. I guess I want to say that I've really enjoyed working for ARCO and predecessor companies for the last 37 years. I woke up one morning, not very long ago, a couple months ago, and I said, well, gee whiz, why am I getting up at 5 o'clock, 9:30? I've now worked for 43 years, either in the oil business or in the Army. And man, why don't I do something else? And I said, well, what in the world am I going to do? I don't play golf. I haven't played tennis in 20 years. I haven't fished in 10 years. I haven't hunted in 5. And I said, well, maybe I want to learn to do all these things. So with that, I decided, and I didn't tell my wife, but I told her about a month later, that I thought it was time for me to go. You know, there comes a time to go and a time to stay. And this district is in such an excellent shape. I mean, excellent. You got a young, excellent manager. Another young, excellent manager just left. Everything's looking up out here. How much more I contribute, or I could contribute, I really don't know. And so you got Bob Speck, who's also an excellent manager with AEC here. We work very well together. Well, Bill, you better move on over and let somebody else come in here and do better. And hell, maybe they can. So I just decided it's time to go. I do want to say that over the years, I've been very fortunate. I've always had fine bosses. Just can't believe the bosses I've had. Even in the Army. I had one or two not quite to my liking, but overall, I've just worked for fine people. And I've also been very happy and successful in having fine people work for me. When you have people like Harry Cummings, Pete Laughlin, Mitch Fullerton, Ken Lewis, and all of their people who every day, I mean every day, look for ways to produce more and make more money for the company. It really is a pleasure. And it was difficult to leave knowing that these people do this every day. And I've been very supportive of them, will always be, because they're just the cream of the crop. Jack McCarthy, his Fake Drilling Group, just really absolutely fantastic. Now, I just want to tell you some of the people that were my bosses. You couldn't ask for a finer group of people. Pete Brainerd, most of you know Pete Brainerd, a lot of you do. Herb Reese, who we saw, like Glenn said, for Wednesday night. We were in Tulsa, I've had lunch with him. He's still a fine oil man. Still a little critical, the way he should be critical. Still looking to produce more. He's
about 78 now, but hell, it doesn't make any difference. Glenn Simpson, who's now the president of AOGC, very fine boss, very fine old man. Then I had Clarence Caldwell. If you could clear Clarence Caldwell's desk, get him talk a little bit, and then leave there and say, Clarence, we're going to do it whether you say it, we're going to do it or not. And he really appreciated when you said that. He absolutely is one fine gentleman, just to work for him. Then I had Olin Brackenridge, another fine gentleman. He was a geologist. I guess the only argument Olin and I ever had when he wanted to log to Broad Canyon. And I said, no, Olin, please don't run that log in there. We called Jim Wilson. We were all in Olin's office, and all in a squawk box, and Jim says, well, Bill, I believe you're going to lose hearts out here who stirred up everything.